Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Jays Fit Down Podcast. I am your host, Jaden, and today we're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys and how they are America's embarrassment. Not America's team, America's embarrassment. This team, this franchise is a joke. We're going to talk about that as the Cowboys have yet again proven themselves to be a regular season team and not able to have success in the postseason. That Prescott proves yet again that he is not an NFL elite quarterback. We'll talk about all of that and a little bit more here on the show today. But before we get started, make sure you check us out here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We're also on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the socials. Follow us there, Jays Fit Down Pod. Please give us a follow, share with your friends. We're trying to continue to build up here and grow, and we are growing here on the channel, coming up on 200 episodes soon. So just trying to keep going strong with the pod. Got the pod here. Guys, and we appreciate your support. Watching and tuning in. Those of you that watch and tune in every day. Those of you who are new to the channel, again, for great content, hit that subscribe button. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, once again, like I mentioned, the Dallas Cowboys had a great year, regular season, finished 12-5, undefeated at home. One of the top offenses in the NFL, averaging over almost 30 or more points a game, even scoring 40 sometimes as well. They beat the teams that they were supposed to beat. They beat some good teams as well in the season. But they when it comes to the playoffs, the Cowboys just flip a switch in a different way, different format. They can't get anything. They can't get it done. Dak Prescott cannot get done. It seems like we have this conversation every single offseason, every single year. It seems like I'm doing a podcast about this. At least the past couple of years, I've started this podcast about Dak Prescott just not getting it done. He is physically incapable of doing so, and I just don't see it changing anytime soon. And it just was recently announced that the team will be keeping Mike McCarthy as his head coach. McCarthy is entering his last year of his contract as the coach of the Cowboys when he came there in 2020 after Jason Garrett left. And so they're going to keep him around another year. Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, is interviewing for a head coaching job, so he could be on the move out if he decides to take a job somewhere and be a head coach. But more likely than not, he'll be back as a DC. So me personally, and Mike McCarthy, at a press conference, what was it, the other day? I believe it was yesterday. He made some of the most ridiculous comments. He said, yeah, I know how to win. We're building a championship program. It's just not a world. We have a championship program. It's just not a world championship yet. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, that makes no sense. Like, if you have a championship program, then you guys would make it to the championship, and you guys would be able to do the things that championship programs, championship teams would do, which is win in the playoffs, at least make it to the conference championship game, make it to the Super Bowl a couple of times. You've had the rosters to do it the past couple of years. Yeah, your players have been healthy. I mean, it's been no excuse. They just cannot get it done. For some reason, when Dallas gets into the postseason, they turn into a scared team. It's a scared team that cannot play competent football. And Dak Prescott, entering the last year of his deal as well, he wants a contract extension. He wants a big contract. He wants to get paid a big money too. After he signed that earlier deal a couple years ago, and he wants to. The market's of course been reset. He believes that he should be getting paid top quarterback money. And I think that's a bunch of malarkey. He doesn't deserve anything like that. Because of what you do in the regular season does not matter. What happens in the playoffs is what matters. Teams, I think a lot of people think that, NFL players just they get to the league and they're just there for the money, which, I mean, hey, it's great money. But a lot of them, a good number of them, want to win. They want to win Super Bowls. They want to get the Super Bowls. They want to win in the playoffs. They want to etch their name and make it into the Hall of Fame. They want to build their resume up. They want to have a successful pro football career, which includes winning. They want to win. You can make money. You can make money in a lot of careers, good money in a lot of careers. It may not be NFL level money, but you can make good money. So the money isn't everything. Part of it is these guys want to win. And you got some teams, some players that don't want to win. The Dallas Cowboys are one of those franchises where the players that don't play, they want to win. The coach plays coaches like he doesn't want to win, and the owner for sure doesn't. I don't know what Jerry Jones is doing, but that's just him. I just don't understand. I really don't understand what the Cowboys are doing. It's been the same story every single year, and it doesn't seem like it's going to change. And the only way it will change is if it goes from the top down. Is Jerry Jones has to go. That's the only way it's going to change. And since and as long as he's there, that's just what's going to be what it is. Because he loves Dak Prescott. He has this type of weird obsession with, and affection with Dak Prescott, to where he's going to keep him as starting quarterback, no matter if Dak goes out and throws 10 interceptions in a game. Then Jerry Jones say, "Hey, you know what? That's our quarterback. We're going to keep him next year. We believe in him, and we think he's going to bring us to the Super Bowl." That's what Jerry Jones thinks about Dak Prescott, and it's ridiculous. We kind of dealt with that here in Atlanta with Arthur Blank and Matt Ryan all those years, and I will say this: at least Matt got us to a Super Bowl. He did get us there. He was okay. Better yet, he was a quarterback of a Falcons team that made it to the Super Bowl. And he did contribute good costs to that. He had an MVP season that year, but I'm not going to sit here and inflate him up like a balloon. Because after that, he didn't really play well. But regardless of the fact, he still got there. It took some years, but he got there. Dak Prescott has yet to do that for this Cowboys franchise. Since he took over for Tony Romo in his rookie year in 2016, he has not done anything. He's won like what? 2 playoff games. And lost in the first round the last 2 years, or no, was it the last year before? Either way, within the last 3 years, he's lost twice at home in the first round. One of those was to the 49ers, and one of those, of course, was the big thumping that Dallas took by the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. A player in his first postseason, starting his first postseason game, in the loud, crazy AT&T Stadium crowd, and against a team that's never lost, that hasn't lost at home. That hasn't lost at home the last 2 years, and they go and put 48 points on them. Now, granted, some of those came from the defense for Green Bay, but regardless, they went into Dallas and scored 48 points on the Cowboys. 48 points. A team that was supposed to be a top NFC heavyweight contender, juggernaut. And they couldn't, and the Cowboys just couldn't get it done. Until Dallas has got a lot of decisions they have to make. They got a lot of things they have to think about. And it's like it seems redundant to even talk about. It's like it's not even worth talking about because we all know what's going to happen. Because this is one of those situations where nothing will change until they either get a different quarterback or they get a different owner. It's just not going to change. It's one of those things where it's Jerry Jones and then it's everybody else. That's why I call it Jerry's world. It's Jerry Jones and it's everybody else. That's just how it is. For Dallas, and it's unfortunate for their fans. Their fans are really obnoxious, but it's unfortunate for them because they have to deal with this every year. The same stuff every year. At least I know what the Falcons like. We're not going to go out there and put a competent football team out there every year. I know we're not going to win 12 games in the every season. In the regular season, and then make the playoffs and just like choke. I know we're not going to do that. I know we're going to have a 7-10 season like we've had the last 3 years. Cowboys have had a 12-5 season the last 3 years. The Falcons have had a 7-10 season the last 3 years. At least I know what we're getting. Yeah, I know not to get my hopes up for anything more than that. With Dallas, it's like the fans. Oh, you know what? We're having a great season this year. This is our year. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. Dak's going to be healthy this year. We got Tony Power's going to be our number 1 running back this year, and this is going to be great. And blah blah this and blah blah that. And Michael Parsons and they do the same thing. They fold every single time, every single year. I just don't know if they can get. I don't know, man. I just don't know if Dallas can get over this hump. I really don't know. But to me, I stand on this point that I've made like every year since I started this podcast. Dak Prescott is not an NFL quarterback. He never has been. He never will be. He is not a true NFL elite quarterback. He can't be one. He's incapable of doing it. He can't win when it matters. He folds up in the big moments. He can't take his team down the field and win the game. He can't make those crucial plays and decisions. One play in particular against the Packers where he took a bad sack. A bad sack was early in the game. And he got outside the pocket. He was trying to make a play. He didn't have to. Just throw the ball away. Let the fight Notre Dame. He takes a sack. The Cowboys have to punt, and Green Bay would, of course, score on the ensuing drive. So that was just one example in many. But yeah, hey, it is what it is, right? That's just the Cowboys for you. That's just Dak Prescott for you. So for my Cowboys fans out there listening, sorry, but it's the truth. Y'all know it. So please don't go around talking about you're going to win a Super Bowl next year, because you're not going to. It's not going to happen until you get rid of Jerry Jones or until you get rid of Dakota, that cowgirl Prescott. That's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way you're going to win a Super Bowl. The only way. You got to get rid of that cowgirl Prescott. He's not an NFL quarterback. Never will be. I'm sorry, Dak. It's the truth. Great guy, but on the field, he can't get it done. And it's sad too, man, because the Cowboys have such a talented roster, man, such a very deep and talented roster. But players like Micah Parsons, C.D. Lamb, Leighton Vander Esch, Deron Bland, Michael Gallup. You got some very skilled, talented players on this team, and they still cannot get it done. You have one of the league's best defenses in the regular season, or at least one of the league's better defenses in the regular season, at home in particular, and you cannot get it done. You allow 48 points to be scored on you at home. It's embarrassment. The Cowboys are America's embarrassment. So that's the main point of the episode today, guys. Really, all I particularly want to talk about. We'll see what happens. Like I said, Mike McCarthy's coming back as the head coach next year. They already, made that clear. So he's entering the last year of his contract. Dak is going into the last year of his contract. The Cowboys are going to have to think about extending players like, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons going into contract years as well. So that also boils into that. It's like, does the team's lack of success in the postseason continue? Does that play a role into these players and their decisions to want to stay with the team? Because if it continues to happen, you got to think, like, if the Cowboys do this again next year, does Michael Parsons want to stay? Does he even want to come back to Dallas? I don't know. I think there's a legit chance that he leaves, especially if Dan Quinn goes somewhere else to be the head coach. You can guarantee Michael Parsons is going to be on that team. So that's something to think about. So Dallas has got a lot of things they have to think about this offseason for sure, and they're going to have a long time to do it because they lost. Did I mention they got whooped in the wild card by the Packers, by the Green Bay Packers? Let that sink in for a minute. The Packers, 48 points. The Cowboys got beat 48-32 by Green Bay. Anyway, so that'll wrap us up for today's show, guys. Thank you for watching, listening, however you're doing this. And we will see you next time on Jace for Down. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment your thoughts about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. And we will see you next time.